Ayubowan. Welcome to Banking Stories number 14. Gold Standard and Gold Exchange Standard in simple language. Dear friends, this time let's discuss about the financial system's gold standard and gold exchange standard in simple language. Though the gold standard monetary system commenced and developed in 17th century by a few countries, England was the first country to officially adopt this system in 1821. The International Gold Standard emerged in 1871 following its adoption by Germany. By 1900, the majority of the developed nations were linked to the gold standard. Ironically, the US was one of the last countries to join. The gold standard was a monetary system in which paper money was freely convertible into a fixed amount of gold. In other words, in such a monetary system, gold backs the value of money. At a time, a troy ounce, that is international unit of gold measuring, a troy ounce was priced at $20.67 US. If the government was to print more money, such government had to back such money supply by adding more gold. If gold reserve is reduced, the government had to withdraw the corresponding paper money from circulation. This system prevailed until the First World War in 1914. During the First World War, countries understood that the gold standard was not workable and it collapsed. By 1928, however, the gold standard had been virtually re-established, although because of the relative scarcity of gold, most nations adopted a gold exchange standard in which they supplemented their central bank gold reserves with currencies that were convertible into gold at a stable rate of exchange. The gold standard system collapsed and UK suspended it by 1931. By 1937, gold standard system was not used by any nation, leaving only the US and France with large gold reserves. A nation on the gold exchange standard is able to keep its currency at parity with gold without having to maintain as large a gold reserve as is required under the gold standard. The gold exchange standard came into prominence after World War I because of an inadequate supply of gold for reserve purposes. After the Second World War, USA became the superpower and US inked an agreement for a seemingly similar kind of a gold exchange standard with central banks in the world. It was signed in Bretton Woods in USA and it was called Bretton Woods Agreement. As per this agreement, other central banks in the world could purchase gold from Federal Reserve at $35 US for a troy ounce and vice versa. Federal Reserve was the place where US dollar notes were issued. Some call it modern imperialism. Thus, US issued paper notes and collected gold and vice versa, and a gold exchange standard financial system. Just think about the possibilities. Country A can sell gold to US and get some USD notes, just papers. The country A can use such notes to purchase oil from a Middle East country B. The two countries A and B exchange USD notes printed on a paper, while US enjoys gold for such paper. Anyway, by 1971, President Richard Nixon cancelled the Bretton Woods Agreement unilaterally, and by such cancellation, US refused to pay back any gold for their own USD currency notes. Then the system of fiat money came into existence, and fiat money is a type of money that is not backed by any commodity such as gold or silver, and typically declared by a decree from the government to be legal tender.